In our interview roleplay, Chris will be playing Generation Baby Boomer and Eva will be playing Generation X. By doing this, you will be able to see the different attributes and different ways that each generation answer questions that could be asked in an interview. The job that they are both applying for is a Human Resources Manager at Ergon Energy. Myself and Riley are both the interviewers, and we will decide who gets the job based upon their answers. Hey, this is Carley from Ergon Energy. Is this Christopher Giles?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Chris. We're having an interview for people who have expressed interest towards our Human Resources Manager position at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Does this suit you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll see you then, Chris. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, this is Carley from Ergon Energy. Is this Eva Walters?
Yeah, this is Eva.
Hey, Eva. We're just calling up people who have expressed interest for our position of Human Resources Manager. So, would you like to come in for a group interview tomorrow at around 2 p.m?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, that's awesome. I'll see you there, Eva. Bye. See ya. So, what is expected of our Human Resources Manager, and what does the job specifically entail? The Human Resources Manager has the responsibility of workforce development and ensuring the company is appropriately staffed. Responsibilities in this role vary on a day-to-day basis. Your regular objective is to resolve all issues related to employee activity. A very important part of this role is recruiting and interviewing. The HR manager needs to ensure that the appropriately qualified employees are positioned in a role that best suits them. When a staffing vacancy becomes available, the HR manager must develop a job description, advertise for the position, and hold several interviews for the applicants. The HR manager must also perform checks if needed and to contact references. Another important role is hiring and firing. When an employee is hired, the HR manager is required to draw up a contractual paperwork and also must make sure the employee fills out taxation documents. When an employee resigns or is fired, the manager must conduct an interview with them so the final paycheck can be given to the employee and tax paperwork can be filed. The Human Resources Manager is responsible for conducting new employee orientation unless the company has a specific manager on staff, which we do not have at this point in time. This involves explaining corporate policies and procedures, reading through employee manuals, and introducing new staff to the existing staff. The HR manager also is required to issue office equipment to the employees, such as keys, IDs, and computer passwords. Something that always arises in our workplace is conflict. It's the HR manager's job to serve as mediator. This can be done by counselling each party individually or together to develop a compromise that is acceptable to everyone involved in the dispute. Salary and benefits is another area that the HR manager is responsible for. The HR manager oversees company benefits, helping employees select appropriate options and explaining overage terms. The HR manager coordinates efforts with accounting and finance division to ensure that employees are appropriately compensated if the organisation has a retirement plan, a health savings account, or a profit-sharing program.
Yeah, come in. Carley.
Chris.
Stacy.
My name's Gerard, and this is Carley. We'll just be asking a few questions today to see if you are suitable for the role of Human Resources Manager in our company. But first, Carley will give you an overview of what our business does and express the expectations of our Human Resources Manager.
I'm sure you've heard about Ergon Energy. We're a government-run organisation who supply electricity to around 700,000 customers across the vast operating area of London and select boroughs. Our vision is to have a high-performance, customer-driven energy business. We strive to provide safe, reliable, efficient, and sustainable energy solutions to support our customers and fuel their economy. Our values are spirit, which stands for safety, professionalism, integrity, respect, innovation, and teamwork. The primary objectives of being a Human Resources Manager in our company are health and safety of the workplace, development of the workforce, development
business called my ad code screen printing. This business was closed as the owner became very ill. I was then employed as a graphic designer at CQ's wrapped and printed for 3 years. Due to a downturn in the local economy, I was made redundant. I then worked as one of 2 graphical designers at a man's toy shop for 12 months. I am now working as assistant manager at Kidnap Embroidery, where I've been for the past 12 months.
Doing something when you worked previously.
My name's Equals, and previously I have worked as a manager at a
My last place of employment was the men's toy shop. I left because I was unhappy with how the managers dealt with staff, so I decided to move to a new business, which is more team oriented.
Why did you leave the last job?
I left the last job like Chris because I was unhappy with the management.
Chris, the video next.
Why did you work here?
Well, I would like to work here because I feel that it is a job that will be challenging, but I feel the skills that I have will offer benefit to your company.
Eva, why
I can't read a copy.
Eva, why would you like to work here?
I would like to work as a HR manager at Ergon because I believe it would be well suited to my qualifications.
We are going to ask you some interpersonal and office skill type questions. So what is your approach to problem solving?
Well, first, the problem needs to be identified, and then all the details must be worked out before the problem can be resolved. If any staff were involved, I would talk to them about the situation, and I would take their ideas and things into consideration.
My approach to problem solving is to get the full story first from all parties involved. If I myself aren't able to cope with the situation, I'll get opinions from the staff members and collate the staff's ideas to solve the problem and sensibly.
So describe your experience supervising other employees and how do you measure effectiveness in this area?
My experience supervising other employees has been rewarding and frustrating at times. I've assisted people in building various skills, including interpersonal and confidence in themselves.
Okay, awesome. Chris?
I find that supervising employees is a rewarding task. I believe it is an excellent opportunity to be able to help employees become more confident in their work and to be able to help them grow as workers.
Okay, describe how you like to be managed. Okay, let's start that again.
So,
Chris, how do you like to be managed?
I like to be managed with clear instructions and fair evaluation. I also think it's essential that you should feel comfortable around your manager so you can talk to them about any problems you may be having without being afraid that you'll be yelled at if you make a mistake.
Eva?
I like to be managed with honesty and respect. My previous boss let me make decisions, but he also let me make my mistakes. He never lied and listened to my feedback.
And let my
Okay, so what do you do when you know you were right and your boss disagrees?
I would try to explain the reasoning, preferably with evidence, so that I could back up my statement.
Eva?
I would let them be wrong. Bosses need to make mistakes too.
Okay. As a component of this position, you may have to work on a team on certain projects. Describe what you and your opinion constitutes an effective team. What do you expect from others on the team and what do you need from others?
I expect that others will have full participation and they will support constructive ideas. I think that an effective team requires full participation from everyone, clear and direct leadership, and everyone working as a team to achieve the set goal.
Eva?
The most important factor in teamwork is having each individual willing to cooperate with you.
Now I would like to ask you some behavioral questions. We ask these kind of questions so we can look past behavior, so we can predict how you will perform in the future. This allows us to evaluate your experiences and behaviors in order to determine your potential for success. If someone asks you for assistance with a matter that is outside the parameters of your job description, what would you do?
I would see whether I would be of any benefit or if there would be someone who is more qualified to assist them.
I would refer them to a person in a qualified position to answer their questions.
You are angry about unfair decision. How do you react?
I would remove myself from the situation and give myself time to think, then I would go back and discuss the decision with the person or people I had the altercation with.
I would ask questions about their decision and question whether it was the only way to move forward. However, if their consensus was to move forward with the original decision, I would agree with the group decision.
Time when you were trying to meet a deadline, you interrupted and did not make the deadline. How did you respond?
I actually have never missed a deadline that I was trying to meet directly because of a co-worker. However, when deadlines are not met, I would notify my direct manager well before the deadline's due date.
I myself currently work in an embroidery business, and one of the embroiderers that worked machines made a mistake, which meant the shirts would not be ready in time to the specified pickup time. I was not happy with the mistake that was made, so after the job was finished, I sat down and discussed with the staff member what went wrong and ways we could improve so these mistakes don't happen again.
If you observe a co-worker who made an inappropriate remark to another employee, and it was obvious to you that the situation was creating an uncomfortable environment, what would you do?
I myself would immediately remove both co-workers involved and have a discussion regarding the unacceptable behaviour and explain the expectations of the business. I would also inform my boss of the inappropriate behaviour so he could deal with it.
What do you do?
I would speak with both parties involved individually and explain the situation as I saw it. Depending on the reaction of the victim, I would support them to escalate the issue to the full extent of the law.
What is your interpretation of success?
Well, that would be having a comfortable home and enough money to buy all necessary equipment.
My interpretation of success is an achievable outcome for all.
Describe an ideal work environment or having a job.
Well, that for me would have to be flexible working hours, a good rate of pay, and a friendly work environment.
Do you have a question?
I believe that there's no such thing as a perfect job. It's only as good as you make it.
Questions about that?
Yep.
Now we'd like to ask you some management questions. Tell us about your management style, people, teamwork, direction.
My management style is all about having a cooperative team and clear leadership. Mutual respect, integrity, and good communication between staff is also essential.
My management style is to help people find things out on their own. This instills confidence and their ability to work unsupervised.
Describe an ideal supervisor.
Well, that would be someone who makes the expectations of staff clear and precise, and someone who treats everyone fairly and who will listen to what they have to say.
An ideal supervisor would be someone who is actually there when you need them and understands the correct procedure of the organization.
Could you share with us a recent accomplishment of which you're most proud of?
I recently participated in the Rocky River Run, which is a charity event. Around 5 kilometers under 30 minutes and raised over $200.
That's good.
Recently, I assisted the Breast Cancer Foundation in their fundraiser to raise money for cancer research.
So what are your qualifications in your area of expertise? What skills do you have that make you the best candidate for this position? Any special training you've had on the job, anything like that, that related to your experience?
As per my resume, I have a master's degree in business management and 15 years plus of dedicated working experience in a business environment.
I myself have 23 years of leadership experience in my role of head of Department of Hematology. I have a diploma in visual art, graphic design, and an associate's diploma in biological laboratory techniques. I have over 7 years of business experience, including customer service.
After conducting the interview, Riley and I decided that Chris, who was representing baby boomers, would be the one who was offered the job. Chris had much more experience than Eva, which is expected as he is older. Not only did he have business experience, but he also had 23 plus years of leadership experience, which is a vital part of the HR manager's role. Chris seemed to go into more depth with some of the questions, whereas Eva didn't. Eva was a perfectly qualified candidate, although Chris would be better suited for this position.